The Hell House LLC franchise is back with its fifth entry, Lineage. But after 10 years of clown scares and dense lore, was this really the send-off the series needed?
In that vanished abode, they're far apart, on that disused, forgotten road, night comes. The black bats tumble and dart. By the power of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Are we gonna dine here?
They're coming for you.
God the Son commands you.
Pray to him.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Hell House LLC Lineage, the fifth entry in this long-running supernatural horror series directed by Stephen Cognetti, and starring Elizabeth Vermillion, Sierra Saka, and Mike Sutton. My track record with this franchise has honestly been more hit than miss. The original has become a modern cult favorite, and even with its ups and downs, I've usually found something to enjoy in each new installment. The fourth entry shook things up by introducing the Carmichael family and their haunted manor, and I wasn't really sure where the story would go from there. This one is also notable for being the first film in the series to ditch the found footage style in favor of a more traditional approach, and I'll admit I was nervous going in because found footage is what gave these movies their personality. And unfortunately, my fears were confirmed, because after watching this, I really think Cognetti needs to let this franchise go and move on to new projects. Before I get into the details, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And if you want to go the extra mile, I've got a Patreon where you can support the channel for just $1 a month. Every bit helps me keep making more horror reviews and breakdowns like this. Haunted by visions and recurring nightmares, years after a near-death experience, Vanessa Shepherd, protagonist of the third film, finds herself living in the town of Abaddon, unable to break free from its unexplainable hold on her. When people around her suddenly and inexplicably begin to die, she soon uncovers her terrifying connection to the Abaddon Hotel, the Carmichael Manor, and the mysterious murders that have been occurring for decades. Let's start with the positives, because there are a few. First, this franchise has always nailed the look of its demons and spirits, and Lineage is no exception. They're creepy, intimidating, and genuinely evil looking. The designs still work, and that unsettling atmosphere is one of the few things this movie gets right. There's also a bit of gore sprinkled throughout. It's very minimal, but what we do get looks good, and it's always welcome in a horror film. And finally, I'll give credit where it's due. The main cast members are solid. They do a fairly decent job carrying the film, even when the material around them isn't working. Now, unfortunately, this is where things fall apart, and there's a lot to cover. First off, the story is just way too convoluted. At this point in the franchise, the lore has become bloated and dense to the point where it's hard to follow. Cognetti spends so much time trying to tie this movie back to all the other entries, and it feels like he's connecting red string on a conspiracy board instead of telling a clear and engaging story. The result is tons of exposition dumping, and unless you've marathoned the entire series recently, much of it is going to be completely lost on you. And even as someone who did rewatch them not long ago, I found myself struggling to keep up. That leads into my next issue. This film prioritizes story over horror, and not in a good way. I'd say the balance here is about 80% lore and 20% scares. Now that might be fine in an earlier entry, but 5 movies in, it's exhausting. And the horror we do get is just mostly recycled. The infamous clown makes yet another appearance, doing the same exact thing it's been doing since the original. 10 years later, it's just tired. The acting is another mixed bag. While the main cast is fine, a lot of the side characters are downright amateurish. The disparity is so big that it becomes distracting. There are moments where it's almost laughable how off some of the performances are. The dialogue doesn't help either. It's clunky, unnatural, and often unintentionally funny. There were multiple lines that were clearly meant to be tense or dramatic, but instead had me rolling my eyes or chuckling. And then there's the stylistic shift. Abandoning the found footage format was a huge mistake. That restricted point of view is what gave these movies their tension and atmosphere. Without it, so much of the unease is gone, and what we're left with feels like a generic low-budget horror film. Finally, I need to talk about the ending. For something being billed as the final chapter, it's way too open-ended. Honestly, I thought the third film gave us a pretty definitive conclusion. Even though I didn't love that movie, it felt final. These last two entries have just kept piling on new elements, and Lineage doesn't provide any real closure. If anything, it feels like it's leaving the door cracked open for yet another sequel, and frankly, I don't want another one. So overall, while Hell House LLC Lineage does keep up the strong ghost design and sprinkles in a bit of gore, the rest of it falls flat. The lore is too convoluted, the scares are recycled, the acting and dialogue are uneven, and abandoning the found footage style strips the series of its identity. After 5 films and a decade of haunted hotels and creepy clowns, this franchise really should have ended long ago. Instead of going out strong, it feels like it's limping to the finish line. I'm giving Hell House LLC Lineage a 2 out of 5. So that's it for my review. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can join my Patreon for just $1 a month. Every bit of support helps keep these reviews going. And of course, let me know in the comments if you think Lineage was a fitting end to the franchise, or if you're ready for Cognetti to move on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.